Semper can take this next game. And here we go, spawning in the top right. We have got our yellow Terran. It is Team Gravity Semper.
And spawning on the left from Rival Gaming, we have Caleb the Zerg.
So Caleb tried something cheeky, didn't work. I wonder if he's going to go back to macro or if he's just going to cheese even harder. We'll see shortly. But Semper again, looking pretty normal so far. Nothing's proxied. However, the possibility of some crazy Reaper shenanigans still aren't out.
I think the ultimate telltale will be when his second gas comes and whether he adds a second Hjax before he considers taking another CC.
Yes, and let's see, it looks like nothing telling yet, but it's still very early. Pretty standard opener again from Caleb, that hatch gas pool.
Now, I think this is going to be a standard build. Here comes the CC from Semper right here. Okay, it's the next SUV, that's the one.
Yep, there goes the SUV to build the base. We've got Reaper, again, pretty standard play. You know, the Lurker build is the only build from this series that has really been out of the ordinary. Both players really opting for macro games in this.
Which is really surprising.
I know, I've heard a lot about Caleb's builds, but he's really opting for macro play here.
Like, I'm even shocked that Semper's choosing to go macro again, but I guess he's playing into his wheelhouse and he feels more comfortable securing the win doing this than gambling on a cheese.
That is true, and we've seen Semper. He is very good at macro play. He just, you know, he'll probably want to make sure that the Ultras aren't the problem that they were in Game 1.
Oh, God, I've been in this chair for too long.
Reaper tries to get a little bit of harass. I think it does get one lane, but not any drones. Factory will be switching over to that reactor. Maybe some Hellions. Yeah, we will have 2 Hellions. They are going to be heading over to maybe just do a little bit more harass.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that with that Overlord being picked up there, he kind of has a feel for where his opponent should be.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he did actually scout. I just went cross-spawn first and pegged it.
Another quick layer, though, from Caleb. I don't think it's going to be the Lurker build again, but it could be 2-base Muta. Oh, and actually, no, it's not 2-base Muta, because here we go. We've got a 3rd base from Caleb, so just actually pretty normal stuff. A Baneling Nest, though, on the way. And a Spire, actually, as well. So, again, Spire, probably a little bit quicker than normal Spire. It's only 4:15 here for Caleb. Not too bad of a choice, though. Liberators are on the field, and if you can snipe a Liberator with Mutas, that always feels really good for a Zerg player.
Yeah, definitely. Now we do have the Baneling Nest coming, Spire's on the way, 3rd base is coming. I'm not sure if this is going to be a larva pool or if he's actually planning on saturating it. But either way, I'm expecting to see some aggression fairly soon from our Zerg player.
Yeah, it would not surprise me. And having this 3rd base, even if it is a larva pool, it makes Semper think for a minute that, hey, maybe Caleb's playing a little bit more of a macro game. But again, pretty standard stuff here from Semper. He is getting a little bit of harassed on there, way down there at the third base.
He didn't
But,
pull the last spot. You're supposed to tuck behind the gas, but it
ooh.
funnels them to you. Rookie mistake there by a Terran player. Rookie mistake.
We've got Mutas coming out. We do not have any drone saturation at that there, so it could be, just as you said, a larva pool. However, it looks like drones are pooled. Oh, is it because... Yeah, there is a Liberator down at the second base.
I like how Liberator is absolutely ridiculous when it comes to killing larvae and everything.
Liberators are really strong, but unfortunately for Semper, it does get taken out there by those mutas, and the drones can go back to their mining. Got more mutas on the way. We've got Baneling speed again. Pretty similar to game 1 in this series, where Caleb went for those late game ultras. However, it's way too early to go ultras yet. Muta's looking like they're going to do, or at least try and do a little bit of harass, but Semper is definitely ready. He has got missile turrets all over the main base. These mutas are not going to get much work done there.
Now we do have Baneling speed coming in and +1/+1 from both of our players. Now the timing on 1-1 is fairly close, and we do have double Liberator production coming now, as well as Semper is starting to add on his Widow Mines.
More drone production now for Caleb, so he is starting to saturate his third base a little bit more. Looks like we'll probably go into more of a late-game army composition from both players. Ooh, needs to be careful with those mutas. However, those mutas do get the nice scout there that says, okay, there's quite a few Liberators on the field. Sim is getting close to finish, 1-1. Also close here for Semper. Do you think Semper will try to be a little aggressive soon, or do you think he's really just trying to macro up at this point?
I think Semper's primary goal is going to be to secure his third completely. And now that Caleb knows that he does have a third, I'm expecting him to try and do some bling pressure on it to take out some of the workers and just interrupt the mining process.
It's like Semper poking just a little bit. He's got a couple Liberators. He can see what damage he can do. He's got... we do have Caleb, though. He's morphing 10 Banelings. Corruptors on the way. This is looking very similar to game 1 between these players. But you know what? Semper's probably thinking, this is a little similar to game 1, so I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm going to put some pressure on as he starts to move out. His 1-1 has finished. But, you know, I think something, you know, he scanned around. He realized that might not be the best time to attack.
Infestation pit is going down.
Ooh.
Semper has less than 5 minutes to do something, or else the ultras will come.
Yeah, after that infestation pit comes the hive, and once the hive is done, the pain begins. Those ultras.
Oh, what does it ever?
Yes. But Semper, he is moving out. He might be giving himself that time he needs. Mutas run forward, killing the Liberators that are attacking from Semper. But meanwhile, Semper has also got another attack going. He is going down to the 4th base. Widow Mines. We've seen what Widow Mines have done to Caleb in the past. He's got to be very careful to make sure history does not repeat itself. Widow Mines, they don't get the best shots, just a couple of links. That's exactly what Caleb wanted there. And now that hive is in production. There is even less time now for Semper to attack once the ultras come out in a very strong force. Life is going to be infinitely tougher for Semper in this game.
Widow Mines are going down.
This army, though, for Caleb is so scary now. There are so many banelings, there are so many speedlings. Mutas are getting into a rather larger number as well. Still only a couple corruptors, but this is not an army to be toyed with at this point. And Semper, I feel like he's giving Caleb a lot of time. However, Semper does actually have the higher army count, 129 to 97, now 133. So Semper, he's actually maxed now. He does have a better army in numbers, but oh, these tanks, they are a little out of position. However, there were mines guarding them. Still needs to be pretty careful with those tanks. Semper is moving down though to that 4th base again. Widow Mine hits aren't as strong as Semper would like. However, that's not all the Widow Mines yet. The army moves through. Oh, does a lot of damage here to Semper. But Semper is holding on still. The Widow Mines, though, have been cleaned up. A scan reveals Semper's worst nightmare. He sees that hive. He knows exactly what's coming. It is that Ultralisk Cavern. The Ultra Cavern is still in production. Semper has a little bit more time, but once these Ultras come out, like I said, life is going to be
the Ghost Academy. He needs more Marauder production. And he just needs to fucking end the game right now.
The longer it takes, the tougher it's going to be. But Semper... Ooh, some nice Baneling kills.
Honestly, though, this is... He has, essentially 3 minutes until the upgrades are done. And then
that
it
Ultra
is
Cavern.
over.
Yeah, the Ultra Cavern has finished now. A little bit of damage done to those tanks there. However, Widow Mines are still alive. They can turn this around, but 2 Ultras on the way. And now the armor upgrade has been started. Ooh, this is looking tough. The army supply is now just favoring Caleb just a little bit, 130 to 118. Semper moves forward again. But Caleb, he knows where he is. He could try and get Semper out of position here. Needs to be careful though, there are some Widow Mines on the field. The Speedling, so they flood in. There are Ultras now in this too. Good Widow Mine hits though for Semper. Semper is being a bit careful. The Ultras though, now that they're out, now that upgrades are starting to finish, this is just still going to be very tough. But Semper, he still has a very nice army. You know, he's not out of the running yet. But with the Ultras, it is, you know, it feels like Semper is on limited time. Both players getting maxed out very soon. We do have Ghost now in production for Semper. That will help. Semper is moving out again. It looks like he really wants to put some pressure on to Caleb here. He knows he can't let Caleb have map control. One of these attacks will get picked off. Ooh, Medivacs go down. However, these Marines still do a little bit of damage here to these.
Oh, they are chewing through those mutas right now.
Yeah, they did a lot of damage to those. Semper moving out again, looking like he is targeting that third once more. Runs up, tries to lure those Ultras into the Widow Mines. Will succeed. Oh, these Widow Mine hits doing some damage. I mean, they're still Ultras, they're still pretty powerful.
There just aren't enough Marauders yet. Now there is a Greater Spire on the way, and a bit to sneeze.
The Semper did manage to kill off that 4th, however, you know, things are still looking pretty okay here for Caleb. And Semper needs to be very careful about where he engages this army. He tries to lure more army into the Widow Mines, but you know, the Widow Mines, they may have gotten some friendly fire there. I couldn't exactly see if they did. Oh, and Medivacs get taken out by the anti-air. This is looking pretty rough now for Semper. However, you know, he's still not out yet. The army supply is still 90 to 106. That 106 is in Caleb's favor, so, you know, Semper, he's not down yet, but he's definitely suffered some pretty big losses. Semper looks like he knows where that base is. He's sending a hit squad, but there are plenty of spines here to stop this.
What do advanced build? Oh, increased range for Liberate. Okay, I was trying to figure out what those were.
Yeah,
oh, the mutas are going down. That was not a smart move right there.
And Semper now getting quite a bit of army out. He is getting more Marines. However, there are still more Ultras in production here for Caleb. So it's hard to say still who is in the lead, as this has been pretty scrappy. More mutas, or excuse me, more banelings, more ultras. Semper has to be very careful with this. I do like what he's been doing with the Widow Mines, and the Ghosts are definitely necessary in this as well. Semper again moving forward. Although with the creep spread, you know, Caleb is seeing a lot of this, realizes where the army is. Three Liberators now in production. Liberators should help out a lot for this versus army. However, there's still also a lot of anti-air, so it's, you know, it could go either way. The Liberator upgrade, though, is done, and that will be a huge help. You've got a nice little army split off here from Semper. He is putting his army in different areas, probably to try and do some base sniping while he does attacks elsewhere.
So it looks like Caleb is looking to expand at every single base on the map, but this is really draining his ability to remax. So he's got to be especially careful when he takes these fights, because he cannot afford to rebuild a 200 army. That will not happen. And Semper just got overrun. Like, that was absolutely filthy. That is most likely game.
Yeah, that was a huge amount of damage. Most of the Liberators have gone down, if not all at this point.
But there's also an attack going on at the other base of Caleb. And the supply differential is still fairly small. Like, the production coming out of Semper is unreal. And
yeah.
Caleb is forced to come back and try to defend his base.
You see, such, tough attacks there on Semper. You see him lose so much, but then you look at the armies, or you look at the supply differences, and you're like, wow, he's still doing okay. It's really impressive here from Semper.
Well, Semper just managed to bank up so much money, and honestly, he's running out, but at the same time, he's still keeping up on supply. The only issue being the majority of Caleb's supply is tied up in Ultralisks.
Yes.
There are at least 8 Ultras. Yeah, there's 8 Ultras right now, Caleb's army. That is not an easy thing to take out.
No, especially, as they had their upgrades a long time ago, and with those, they are nearly immortal. 5 more libs, though, in production. Semper has a scary army, but is it going to be enough? More Marines just try to get as much damage as they can. We'll take out a couple mutas, a couple drones. And everything is really important at this point. Both players pretty starved as far as economy is going.
Well, shit, Semper's remaxed. Last time I looked at the bottom of his screen, he was at 150, and now he's fucking maxed out again.
I know, it's insane.
What is this madness? Now, one thing I would like to see from him is leaving the Marauders at home and just doing the damage with Marines. so that
Ooh,
when
would
he
be...
does need to fight, he has the Marauder count to take out those Ultralisks.
Yeah, that would actually be a very smart move. I agree with you. Liberator, so they are just inching forward. That's so disgusting. But very well done.
This marching creep is unreal from these Liberators.
Yeah.
But don't worry, they're not overpowered.
Viper's now in production for Caleb, so he realizes he might want to try and yoink some of those, or at least not even yoink, but even better, do a parasitic bomb. What was I thinking? That's what they would do. But the harass here from Semper is really strong. He's preventing a lot of the mining here for Caleb, but at the same time he is attacking now. These Liberators, though, they are under siege.
These Ultras.
It was looking good for Semper, but these Ultras are just so strong.
But if you look at production, he's got 12 Marines coming at a time, 5 Liberators at a time. He's still got upgrades. He's making CCs. Caleb has nothing. He has no money, and he has no production right now. He is forced to make 24 Zerglings.
Yeah, and I think what was really cool by Semper is he was taking out some of the gas, too, from Caleb. And, you know, Ultras, they require a lot of gas.
Honestly, as each one of these Ultras dies, it becomes irreplaceable.
Indeed. And now we've actually got 12 Banelings coming out, so we probably won't see any more Ultras being made unless something really happens here for Caleb.
There's just no gas. Now the question is, does Semper know about this? Semper doesn't know about this bottom corner base for Caleb.
Yeah, and I don't know if he is going to find out unless he sends something over there to try and build another command center. Ooh, these Corruptors are up. These medevacs are going to have to be careful here. And Semper does move forward. He is trying to get another hit squad down at the base to the middle left. But you know what? I think Caleb was definitely expecting that this time. He shut it down.
There are drops everywhere, and he is picking off the Ultralisk Cavern.
Ooh.
Going, and it is alive with 5 fucking health.
Oh.
What is wrong with this picture? This is like the 3rd game in a row that this has happened to Semper.
Even the Ultra Cavern is so hard to kill, apparently. The Liberators, though, they are still marching forward. They need to be very careful, though, around those Corruptors, but they are taking out a lot. The Corruptors getting to very low health. These Liberators actually doing a great job at taking out those Corruptors, and that's actually a pretty big deal for Semper as well. GG, well played.
Semper takes the series 3-1, and I can get out of this chair for the first time in 22 hours.
Very well done, though, for Semper. When we saw those Ultras, we were so worried for him. And not to say, like, there's no favoritism, at least not for me. I am always a rival supporter. But seeing a Terran come back against Ultras like that, it was so impressive. Very well done by Semper. He will win 500 RSL points and $20. Caleb, however, does also get RSL points. I believe he gets $205. So he still wins a lot as well.
And once again, from our directors and the people who helped make this stream possible, we are very sorry for the last hour or so where we had extremely choppy frame rate. Thank you to the 27 people that sat through it and put up with it. It looked like it was a very exciting slideshow. In a way, you kind of get to see the engagement, like scene-by-scene stop action, which is kind of cool looking.
It is, actually. But thank you guys again for watching. Remember that if you want to support us, to support RSL, we do have a Patreon with tiered donations as well as tiered perks for those donations. So if you are looking to support us, that would be the way to do so. Thank you again so much, Zailyn, for joining me tonight in casting.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's been an absolute blast. We got to watch some absolutely incredible games tonight. And take care, everyone.
Yep, take care.